According to the professor, what do some of Andrew's detractors say about his artwork? They say that his artwork is so commonplace and dull, right? So what's the answer? It's A, right? They claim there is nothing special about his paintings. Let's see other options. B, they believe that he used too many bright colors. No, it's the opposite, right? He used dull colors. C, they feel that some of his work is too abstract. No, he is a realist, right? So it's opposite from being abstract. D, to note its difference on architecture no, hold on. This is not the option. I'm sorry, okay? They dislike the appearances of the models that he hired. This is not it, right? So the answer would be A. How is the discussion organized? How does the what is the structure of this speech? It's A, right? The professor focuses primarily on Andrew Wyeth's most famous works. Primarily means what? It means most importantly, okay? She talks about the Christina's World and Helga paintings, so A is the answer. Let's look at other options. B, the professor introduces a chronological selection of Andrew Wyeth's paintings. Chronological, what does that mean? Chronological means by the order of time, okay? So this is not the answer. C, the professor asks the students to look at the pictures in the book while she speaks. This is not it, right? D, the professor provides criticism of several famous paintings that Andrew Wyeth made. It's not the professor that provides criticism, okay? She talks about the criticism he got, but that's just a part. You can't say that that's the general structure of this speech or the lecture. Based on the information in the lecture, do the following sentences refer to Christina's World or Helga paintings? Which is which? Can you see this clearly? Contained some nudity. What was that? That was the Helga paintings, right? Wyeth also painted some nudes as Helga's body itself became the landscape Wyeth was searching for. So this is Helga paintings. Featured a woman with disability. This is Christina's World, right? Christina was paralyzed from waist and under. Depicted a woman with red hair. Which was this one? The paintings of Helga, right? Because what did he say? What did she say? You can see Helga leaning against a tree on a summer day. Note her golden reddish hair. So this is Helga. Took a long time to complete. Which one is that? The Helga paintings, right? So how long did it take? It took 14 years. So the Helga paintings is the answer. Took a long time to complete. Okay. TOEFL is made. It's an American test. The test made by Americans, so it contains a lot of subjects, American subjects. Okay, and they talk about the American artists and stuff, okay? But because the history of America is not very long, some of them tends to pick a few from the few artists or famous people, and they try to make them as important as European artists or famous people, but maybe in a lot of cases they are not that good as Europeans, the famous European artists or other famous people. Do you understand what I'm saying? Listen again to part of the lecture, then answer the question. Let's listen to the part.
5. Listen again to part of the lecture, then answer the question.
Much of his work is, incidentally, based on the landscapes and people in those two states. Wyeth is known mostly as a realist. So for you non-art history majors in this class, that means that he basically painted whatever he saw exactly as he saw it.
What does the professor imply when she says this?
So for you non-art history majors in this class, that means that he basically painted whatever he saw exactly as he saw it.
So what does this mean? Why did she say that? It's because she said Wyeth is known mostly as a realist, but she thought if the students are not art history majors, they will not understand what it means. So she said that means basically he painted whatever he saw exactly as he saw it. Do you understand? So what is the answer? The answer should be C, right? Andrew Wyeth avoided the abstract style of painting because abstract style is the opposite of realist. Abstract means relating to ideas rather than real things or people, okay? So C is the answer. Let's look at other options. She dislikes having only art history majors in her class. She doesn't imply that, okay? Andrew Wyeth was somewhat visually impaired. What does that mean, visual? Visual means relating to seeing, okay? Impaired means damaged. So that means he can't see. It doesn't mean that, alright? D, one of her favorite artists is Andrew Wyeth. She doesn't imply that either, so the answer is C. Listen again to part of the lecture. Let's listen.
6. Listen again to part of the lecture, then answer the question.
Wyeth also painted some nudes as Helga's body itself became the landscape Wyeth was searching for. It was in 1985 that the entire Helga collection was first shown in public. It made quite a splash.
What does the professor mean when she says this?
It made quite a splash.
What does this mean? The paintings of Helga included some nudes, right? And when it was shown to the public, the people were very surprised, and it made a splash. It means people were surprised by it. So what is the answer? There was a lot of publicity surrounding the Helga paintings. A lot of publicity. What does publicity mean? It means people talked about it a lot and were very interested, and there were controversies, okay? So B is the answer. Let's look at other options. It took a long time to convince Andrew Wyeth to exhibit the Helga paintings. What does that mean, convince? Convince means to talk somebody into something. That means make that person think that he should do it, okay? Convince Andrew Wyeth to exhibit the Helga paintings. It doesn't mean this, right? Splash doesn't mean this. C. People were upset because some Helga paintings were nudes. It doesn't mean they were upset, right? It's just that they were surprised by it and they were talking a lot about it. D. Andrew Wyeth preferred to paint with watercolors. This has nothing to do with the what it means, so it's not the answer. Okay, since this is the last class for this textbook, I hope we see you again. I hope we see each other again. Bye bye.